As a member of Denny's professional team, you know that responsible selling and serving of alcoholic beverages enhances Denny's food service. And as a team member, you also know the obligations and responsibilities that come with the job, your obligation to your guests, and your responsibilities in selling and serving alcoholic beverages. In your training at Denny's, you've learned the fine points of service to promote good guest relations in a pleasant atmosphere. You've also learned the legal responsibilities involved in serving alcoholic beverages, those federal, state, and local regulations which apply to your lounge and restaurant. In this videotape, you're going to be provided with some procedures and suggestions that will safeguard your guests and illustrate ways of ensuring responsible drinking in your restaurant. 60% of all Denny's restaurants serve alcoholic beverages. With that much business, third-party liability is very much a reality. In some instances, you and Denny's may be financially responsible if any guest consumes alcohol to the point of intoxication and is later responsible for damages or injury to themselves, others, or property. You may also be responsible if you knowingly serve alcoholic beverages to an individual who is already intoxicated, and they're later responsible for injury to themselves, to others, or to property. Avoiding this responsibility could result in termination, fines, or imprisonment. It could also result in civil, criminal, or financial responsibility for property damages, injury, or death. Denny's liquor license could be suspended or revoked. There could be a loss of liability insurance, and, of course, lots of bad publicity. Accepting responsibility and complying with the law improves Denny's professional image in the food service industry and enhances our moral image in the neighborhood and business community. You, as a Denny's employee, must be aware of the repercussions if you fail to comply with legal requirements and Denny's company policy. Denny's policy on alcoholic beverage sales and service provides clear-cut guidelines. First, don't serve an obviously intoxicated guest additional alcoholic beverages. This only makes a dangerous situation worse. Observe the guest or use the guest check to track the number of drinks a guest consumes during his or her stay in the restaurant. Use established recipe standards for all drink preparation. And use a shot glass to measure all liquor you dispense for drinks. Don't insist that a guest have another drink once they've declined, and place a greater emphasis on food service. You do this by providing a menu to all guests once they're seated, and suggesting an appetizer to those who don't order a meal. You can also provide snack food or hors d'oeuvres. Your responsibilities as a server include ensuring the safety of your guests by creating an atmosphere of responsible drinking, protecting yourself and your restaurant against third-party liability lawsuits by observing the actions of any guest consuming alcohol, reporting your observations to your manager, and by declining or refusing service to the guest if necessary. But the responsibility isn't all yours. Your manager has basic responsibilities in this area as well. Your manager should confirm the server's observations about guests consuming alcohol and determine the approach you should take in declining or refusing service to an obviously intoxicated guest. In case any problems should arise, your manager will discreetly and professionally resolve the situation.
But won't all this put a damper on our guests' good time? I mean, they're here to enjoy themselves.
If I see anything, I could lose a good tip, and I can't afford that.
Look, these folks come in here all the time, and generally there's not a problem. But if I refuse to serve them, they probably won't come back.
Being a wet blanket, losing tips, or return business, these are all real concerns, and you're bound to experience these feelings at some time or another. But look at the benefits you'll gain by adhering to Denny's policy. Your watchfulness may prevent an intoxicated guest from causing injury or death. Systematic intervention will earn Denny's a reputation for not tolerating excessive drinking. This will improve the atmosphere by discouraging excessive alcoholic beverage consumption in your restaurant. So, as you can see, the benefits really outweigh the concerns for lost business and tips. But how do you handle these situations? We're going to spend the rest of this tape showing you some ways to do just that.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing? Hi.
Guess I'll have a beer. Make it a Michelob.
That sounds good all the same.
These guests look very young. Did you know that anyone selling, serving, or giving alcoholic beverages to a minor can be arrested? Drinking and driving is the #1 killer of teenagers in the country. So, how do you handle this situation?
May I see your identification, please?
Hey, I'm overage, and so is my friend.
I still need to see identification before I serve you. Could I see it, please?
You should request the identification of all youthful-looking people at the table. Ask them to remove their identification from their wallets. Accept only a valid driver's license, an active-duty U.S. military ID card, or an official passport. If the person has no acceptable identification, you may not serve him or her. In this case, the identification proves these guests are both of legal age.
Thank you. You both look so young. It's just that I had to be sure. Now, that's 2 Michelobes. Would you like some nachos to go with that?
Your guests won't be upset at being asked to prove their legal age if you handle the situation with honesty and tact. Remember, minors can look very adult. Request identification from all youthful-looking guests, even those who appear to be in their mid-20s. If an obviously intoxicated guest comes into the restaurant, the hostess should seat him or her and provide the guest with a food menu, not a cocktail menu. The hostess should let the manager and the server know about the guest. If the manager isn't close by, the server should alert the manager before she takes the guest's order.
Hi, welcome to Denny's. Would you care for some coffee while you're deciding?
No, I'd like a gin and tonic, please.
I'm sorry, I really would prefer if you'd have some coffee or a soft drink.
Well, I don't care what you'd prefer. I said I wanted a gin and tonic.
Thanks, just a moment.
Hello, sir. How are you tonight? Is Linda getting you some coffee?
What is this? I'm okay. I just want a gin and tonic. Is there some problem?
Sir, we're concerned about your well-being, and another drink would not be in your best interest. Now, come on, how about some coffee and a bite to eat?
Oh, what the heck. I guess I've had enough. Why don't you bring me that coffee and,
In this situation, it's important for the server and the manager to remain firm. If you serve the guest another drink, all your credibility is lost. Some guests who arrive at your restaurant intoxicated may appear sober. By serving this guest only 1 or 2 drinks, you may be unintentionally over-serving him or her. If there's any question in your mind, talk to the guest to try to determine sobriety.
Hi, how are you? Fine, thanks. Can I have a glass of white wine? Certainly. Can I get you an appetizer or snack to go with that? No, thank you. Just the white wine will be fine. Oh, and could I have a glass of water? Sure, I'll be right back.
It's extremely important that you report any signs of intoxicated behavior to your manager. That way you have a witness that you did not intentionally overserve a guest.
Well, I don't think it'd be wise to let that lady have another drink, Teresa. Why don't you suggest that she order some coffee and some food?
Again, once the decision to refuse service has been made, it's important that you remain firm. If you ultimately permit the guest to have another drink, all your credibility is lost.
I don't think another drink would be wise for you right now. Why don't you let me bring you a soft drink and maybe one of our sandwiches? Oh, maybe that's a good idea.
When you decline service, it's important to be tactful and diplomatic. Show concern for the guest and her point of view, whether you agree or not.
How you doing?
Good. How about another BL7?
How about a cup of coffee instead and maybe a bite to eat?
No, I want a drink. The night's still young. How about it?
Hey, I don't think another drink's a good idea. That could lead to problems for you. The police are really cracking down on drinking and driving around here, and I don't want anything to happen to you. I'd like to see you come back here.
Oh, okay. No coffee, though. I gotta go home.
I don't think you ought to be driving right now. Why don't you let me call someone, have them come and pick you up?
Call someone?
Yeah, isn't there someone that lives nearby, can come and pick you up and drive you home?
Yeah, you can call my buddy. He lives close to here. He'll come get me.
Hey, that's a smart move. I think it's a real good idea. What's his phone number? I'll give him a call for you.
Trying to arrange alternative transportation for an obviously intoxicated person is the greatest service you can do for yourself, your restaurant, and your guest.
Hi, welcome to Denny's. What can I get for you?
I'll have a gin and tonic. My friend will have a rum and coke.
Oh, where is your friend?
She went to the restroom. She'll be right back. I thought I'd order her a drink and save some time, you know.
Could I see your identification, please?
Sure.
Okay, Joe, that'll be a gin and tonic and rum and coke, right?
That's right.
Hi. Before I can serve you your drink, I need to see some identification. I'm sorry, but your identification shows you're underage. I can't serve you an alcoholic beverage, but I can bring you a plain Coke or something to eat.
When refusing service, be as tactful as you can and offer a non-alcoholic drink and some food to the guest right away. This will indicate that you are not going to back down and may discourage the guest from arguing with you. In addition, offering an alternative to the guest will keep you from losing him completely. At Denny's, we want every member of our professional team to understand his or her role in prevention of situations that could lead to a third-party liability lawsuit. In this videotape, we've attempted to show you how to handle some pretty typical situations you might encounter in your restaurant. You need to be aware that the courts may hold you, the company, and anyone else associated with the sale and service of alcoholic beverages financially responsible if you knowingly allow any guest to consume alcoholic beverages to the point of intoxication, and he or she is later responsible for damages or injury to him or herself, others, or property. Or if you knowingly provide any type of alcoholic beverage service to an already intoxicated person, and he or she is later responsible for damages or injury to him or herself, others, or property. That's why it's so important that you understand how to handle the various situations we've covered here and be able to use your best judgment to handle others you might encounter on your job. Our goal has been to educate you about alcohol consumption and Denny's policy. Only through this knowledge can you be a responsible, competent server of alcoholic beverages. This knowledge is vital in order to maintain Denny's positive image in the food service industry and, more importantly, to create a strong moral image in the communities in which we conduct business. Our Denny's team can make these images a reality. You can ensure a guest has a pleasant and safe time in our restaurants.